Wembley on Saturday night. Could England, with a new-look team and with Paul Gascoigne back on centre stage, do the same tonight? Their opponents, Colombia, who flopped in last year's World Cup finals after starting as one of the favourites. Commentating on this green flag-sponsored international tonight, Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis.
A September friendly hasn't drawn a crowd, but the first selection of a championship season is certainly not lacking in interest. Youth has been given its chance. A debut for Jamie Redknapp, a first start after substitute appearances for Steve McManaman and Nick Barmby, and Gary Neville, the youngest at 20, continuing at right back. Injuries have played a part in the selection, but I believe it's very close to the team that Terry Venables wanted to play. And Paul Gascoigne, at 28, finds himself the fourth oldest in the team.
There's no doubt the team is given a wonderful opportunity, isn't it, to cement a place in the regular lineup. A lot of new faces. I don't think there's many positions in that England side that are guaranteed for 9 months' time when the European Championship starts. So good performances tonight certainly puts pressure on those not playing.
With two exceptions, Colombia field the players who finished third in this summer's South American Championship. Several names are familiar from the last two World Cups: Higuita, the eccentric goalkeeper, Rincon and Asprilla, Alvarez, and a man who hasn't changed his hairstyle in 10 years in international football, Carlos Valderrama.
Well, with the sort of quality players in midfield, Valderrama, you mentioned, Rincon and Asprilla up front, they've got so much talent, you've got to respect a side. They love to pass the ball very tightly through the midfield, so it'll be important for England's young midfield not to give them too much space, but I think it's going to be a good test, and I think an entertaining game, hopefully.
Marc Vetter from Marseille is the man in charge, all French officials this evening. And here's to the longest England international season in 30 years. 14 internationals would include the final of the European Championship. Gascoigne was determined to win that. Valderrama, beautifully curled for Santa. Lozano got into the side at the end of the South American Championships and keeping out Gaviria, who's one of 5 substitutes. Both teams with 5, and all 5 may be used. Rincon. Alvarez has got in here behind Neville, but the flag was up, and that's why he got in behind Neville.
Very patient build-up though, wasn't it? They keep possession superbly. England can't afford to just dive in and sell themselves. They probe away, waiting the opportunity. And when the ball is played, I don't think he's offside, and I think the linesman's flagged too late.
Redknapp. Wise. Long way for Lasso to come, but he makes it. Free kick. Rincon. Perez. We are certainly making the running at the opening. McManaman. Gascoigne. Good ball to Shearer. The goalkeeper is off his line as ever, and he's saved by the crossbar. It's a fine pass by Gascoigne. Timed it to perfection with the run of Shearer, who equally timed his run to perfection. In Higuita, not for the first time in his life, was very fortunate, but you'll remember how in 1990 Colombia's hopes died against Cameroon because Higuita decided to take on one Roger Milla.
Well, Higuita does go in for those little scurries out of his penalty area, and he didn't have to wait long, did we? 11, 12 minutes, and he was exposed and lucky to get away with it.
Shearer. Oh, good shot. The angle was all against him, but he was prepared to give it a try. Again, a good ball through. Three rather flat defenders, but the angle. And Higuita making the parry. Well out, Asprilla. The idea was right, but not quite strong enough. The ball intended for Gascoigne. Adams did well from a prone position. Silky has to do it again immediately by Valderrama. Well to balance himself. Rincon. And words between Terry Venables and Brian Robson. To that side. He was well forward, took the sting out of it after the first introductory moments from Paul Gascoigne. Tried to play it through, there were options. Good follow-up shot.
Well, they're the sort of individual skills that Gascoigne is in the side for, but I think some of the younger players have settled down well. Nick Barmby's showing well, and Jamie Redknapp looks very composed in midfield. McManaman had the follow-up shot there, so there's good signs from the younger ones, and it's a good lesson this evening about keeping possession, because if you give it away, you can't get it back.
Barmby. They're settling down. Early suggestion is that this could be a useful opening test for England in this important season. Redknapp again looking for the shot, as he has been doing for Liverpool, particularly this season. One or two memorable ones last too. Valenciano. Rincon has made a hole by using the run, and a good try. David Seaman very pleased to turn that over. A lot of sting in the shot. Used the run there of Valenciano. It opened up for the right foot shot, which he struck really well. Good stop, Seaman. Shearer doing his defensive duties at set pieces very well.
It's a good opening 20 minutes, good football from both sides. And Colombia definitely in the right mood this evening. You never know quite what they're going to produce, but they look very interested. Rincon, Valderrama controlling the midfield, Asprilla making those good runs, and it's going to be a good test.
Bermudez, Lozano. Free kick. Just a little welcome from Adams to Asprilla. Oh, Rincon. Gap is left side, but the ball was played too far back. Redknapp on the counter. Free-flowing stuff. Gascoigne. Wise. Straightforward cross, really, for a defender. Do love the little triangles. Shearer. McManaman. Barmby in the middle. Wise going there as well. Shearer. The Colombians pushing out. Wise. Redknapp. Good challenge. And very well won by Steve Howe. He needed to be too. McManaman. Gascoigne. Neville. England ball.
England got to try and bring Wise and McManaman into the game very quickly. Let them keep out wide and spread the play.
Here's Barmby. Shearer. Bermudez. Sheer presence blocked the shot, prevented it from actually being made. Free kick for the challenge by Valenciano. Flag stays down, and now offside. Barmby. That's right, had to be. And the Colombians not very happy with the linesman from Strasbourg, René Schneider. But he was right, I think, to keep it down initially, but the moment the ball was played forward to Barmby, he had to put it up.
As long as only the same person touched the ball, he was going to let them go through and carry on. But as soon as the second player, Nick Barmby, came into it, he was quite rightly flagged offside. But that's 2 or 3 times that the offside sort of tactic has failed Colombia, and even once or twice it's been a bit close for England as well.
Shearer to Barmby. McManaman. Lozano quite happy to use his arms. Bound to happen pretty soon because we've had 3 already from Valderrama. Redknapp, flag up for offside against Barmby. No goals for 6 games and only 5 in 17 caps. And Shearer looking sharp. This was his opening effort. And Higuita came rushing back and thank the bar. Well, a character in every sense. It's amazing they managed to keep him in jail for 4 months where he was because of an involvement in a kidnapping case. Well, the flag was up for offside, but the referee didn't give the offside. Unreal. Goodness me. I can't imagine how it was he didn't pick the lock. They're still laughing on the bench. Brian Robson. Usually to refer to a donkey on a football field is not being very pleasant, but how else do you describe that?
Well, the ground's buzzing, isn't it? I'm not sure Brian Robson would be too pleased if he was in the Middlesbrough goal, but I mean, it brought certainly everyone to life. Fantastic bit of skill.
And here's Valenciano, and he's got 2 up in support. Oh, side netting. Well, he's quite chunky, Valenciano. He's been recalled to the colours, didn't play in the South American Championship. It bent away from the goalkeeper. Was very well struck. Well, I imagine a few people watching this on television will be a bit disappointed they didn't go, because this is proving to be a very entertaining opening to the international season. Probably Dave Merrington and Laurie McMenemy will be hoping that should Bruce Grobbelaar go back in the side, he wasn't watching. Good play, Valenciano!
How many passes was that one? I mean, it was wonderful build-up, and as soon as they get a sight on goal, just dragged that one across the face. But it's an exciting opening. When they're playing like this, Colombia are as entertaining as any international side.
But look at this from Jamie Redknapp's shot. Watching, 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 yes. Perfectly done. And did he like it? Oh, it's good running by Asprilla. Still Asprilla. Robbed by Lasseau. Alvarez. But a question mark then against the pace of the centre of the England defence. He is very quick, Asprilla, but it has, in my book, been an area for concern for some time. And Lasseau getting his colleagues out of trouble.
Certainly Steve Howe just got the leg in, didn't he, to knock him off balance, but he has got that extra gear, hasn't he, Asprilla, when he gets going. Another yard and he would have been away.
Harry making only his second appearance, played in place of Adams against Nigeria. Referee inviting Rincon to get up, accidental, he says. Bambi. Gascoigne. Seen early from Mendoza. Gascoigne, the posse around him, and now chasing the ball. They've got a man over as a result. Gascoigne! And McManaman wide on the follow-up. One crossbar, one post. It remains at 0-0. There was a man over here, but they weren't aware of it. A lot of them had chased the ball, the Colombians. Good try by Gascoigne. The keeper certainly beaten. And the follow-up from McManaman.
Did well to keep it down on his left foot there, Paul Gascoigne. Intelligent knockback by Alan Shearer, and good build-up play out wide from Nick Barmby, who I think's had an excellent half an hour.
Here's Lasseau. Good ball, that is. The weight of the pass to Barmby. Still in with a chance. Gascoigne, still, Balletic, Bambi, Gascoigne, Lasseau, good strike. Golly, this is good to see. England players showing their skills. It just wouldn't quite run, but lovely stuff here from Gascoigne and from Bambi. And Lasseau, who scored that cracking goal against Brazil, having a really good strike there too.
Well, half-time whistle nearly here, and I have to say it's one of the more enjoyable first halves I've seen in the national game with England for quite a number of matches. Been some excellent football from both sides. England a bit unlucky, hit the woodwork twice. Colombia have threatened as well, but more than anything, it's the manner of the possession and the passing. A much, much better performance, and well done to the new faces, particularly Jamie Redknapp and Nick Barmby.
Two together there. Here's a third one, McManaman. Well, he pushed it out, Higuita. He doesn't go by normal rules and laws. Here's Shiro's offside. And we'll be pleased about that now. McManaman after Barmby and Redknapp. Spectacular, but rather see a goalkeeper hold those, or at least put them out of harm's way. Last minute of a very good half, and this is Valenciano. Probably finished up slightly nearer the corner flag than the goal, but he packs a shot in both feet.
Looks as if he might favour the right rather than the left, if that's anything to go by, but he's moved well, and he and Asprilla looked dangerous on the break, no doubt.
Just going to Wise, but yet another attacking move brought to an end by the half-time whistle. Alan Shearer coming closest with the shot off the crossbar, then Gascoigne with the shot off the post. And Asprilla certainly starting in a very sprightly manner. A really good half, rain in September. This man's style lifting the small crowd. It's a long time from September to June, but this is a promising start for Terry Venables' young side so far. A very fitting chief guest for this Green Flag International, Geoff Hurst. Only man to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final. It'll be 30 years ago next summer. One substitution made by Colombia. Luis Quinones is on in place of Lozano at the start of the second half. Long may the quality of the first half continue. It's Redknapp. Certainly enjoyed his first 45 minutes. We've seen his two main debuts, Redknapp on Sports Night, and he played for Liverpool in Rosaire. And now here at Wembley, McManaman, Barmby! Oh, don't believe it! Up Bermudez and onto the crossbar.
Well, that was desperately unlucky, Dennis Wise. Good move against Steve McManaman, threading the ball through to Nicky Barmby, tried to lift it with his left foot. Wise reacted quicker. It's not going to go in, is it?
Scored on his debut against Turkey, Dennis Wise, but what part of anatomy was never entirely clear. But he was very unlucky then. McManaman, lovely ball in, Barmby nippy. Just got a bit of the legs of Higuita. And up from Wise as he was challenged by Bermudez. It remains 0-0. McManaman, look at the posse around him. Three and then two others. Got to leave some holes somewhere. Here's Redknapp.
McManaman did very well, didn't he? Drew 4 or 5 people, skipped past one, then laid it square. And as you can see, Jamie Redknapp, just his first touch, if he'd let it come across him, but it's on his left foot and he has to drag it round, and then his standing still, can't quite get the power and the accuracy. But he's done well, always shown, always available, being a good option for everyone in midfield, and here he is again, just switching play.
Still on the left flank with Wise on the right. Plenty of time for David Seaman, and no threat. Just offside. Adams got back when the pass was played. Valenciano was offside. Butter in the way. Rincon. Options either way. The best one is Valderrama if he's got the pace. Redknapp to him. Well, he showed that even 34, he's still got plenty to offer. It was a good ball. Redknapp just put a little bit of pressure, and the angle was well covered.
Just stretching with the shot at the end, wasn't he? And couldn't get over it. A good break.
Alvarez. Always there to tidy things up, start things off again. Asprilla. Valderrama. Arriving late, Quinones. Valencia on the right foot.
Well, the flag is up there, but I'm not sure why, because Valenciano looked onside to me. Look, when the ball is played, he's okay. He waves play on, then the linesman put his flag up for an unknown reason. He should have got it on target with his right foot from there. He's had some good chances.
Alvarez, Rincon, Asprilla, Perez, Asprilla, sprinting away. Good challenge, Neville. Baby of the team against a fine player. He hasn't perhaps fully shown his talent, Asprilla, during his career. Did well to help Parma win the Cup Winners' Cup. Scored some goals in that run. Sometimes frustrating. One back by Barmby. This is Wise. Just blocked by Quinones. Play on because the advantage almost falls to England, and does now with a free kick on the edge of the box. Challenged by Bermudez on Redknapp. Now a lot of people will fancy their chances here.
I think it'll be fighting over it. I've got a feeling that, I mean, Jamie Redknapp certainly would enjoy it, but Paul Gascoigne, I think, will take centre stage there. Just rode the tackle well, got clipped, definite free kick.
Gascoigne has placed the ball. Gascoigne. Oh! The goalkeeper was a spectator. Dead unlucky, Mr. Gascoigne.
Well, he sent him the wrong way, didn't he? Look where the goalkeeper goes. It's gone in the other direction, but it's just dragged it wide. Very unlucky.
Go.
There's been a lot of progress, I think, in the performance this evening, but I think you are going to have to get outside in these situations.
Wise's cross, Shearer!
I mean, the cross there was on sort of level with the 18-yard box, and Shearer got the header in, as you can see. He's not going to have to beat his man. He's going to get the cross in. Should have been offside. The flag doesn't go up, and it's Shearer who comes in late. Can't quite direct it on goal. But I think Shearer thrives on crosses, and they're coming a bit too deep at the moment.
Bermudez supporting the attack. So not quite as he intended. Quinones. Santa. Quinones. Santa available. Was allowed to go. Adams across. Good challenge. Corner.
Been as reliable as ever, Tony Adams. Enjoying the old skipper's role as well, it looks, because he's certainly encouraging and demanding just a lift up in the performance at the moment. It's just lulled slightly.
Bermudez, who won it cleanly, but couldn't get it down.
It's bad marking, isn't it? I mean, this is the sort of cross that English defences should deal with well.
Gascoigne. Not quite. He'd moved for the return ball that he didn't get. He was a little exasperated. Oh, look at that. Did too much, though. Shearer.
There's a bit of difference between the hairstyles of Gascoigne and Valderrama, but they both like to show their tricks. And Gascoigne there back flicking it to Alan Shearer. Couldn't quite get the shot behind. There's a few tired legs, including Paul Gascoigne now. Just wonder whether Terry Venables in the last 20 minutes or so might be tempted to introduce a couple of fresh substitutes.
Scott over the head of Lasso. This is Valenciano. Good clearance. Good parry. There was some weight in that shot. Valderrama. Well, still goals at either end. Looking likely. In the 27th minute of the second half. The score sheet is still blank. Rincon. Valderrama. Rincon not quite managing the same quality of passing. Valenciano and Asprilla forward. 3 marking 2 at the moment. Santa. Wise, Neville ahead of him. Barmby. McManaman, Gascoigne. McManaman said available, but not used. Through to Barmby. Harry. Wise. Neville. Barmby, good punch. Tackle.
Another example of no one in the England side, quite like Paul Gascoigne, runs at defences. He hasn't quite got the old surge, but when he goes at defenders like this, it's so difficult. You're so wary of making a tackle, a little toe ender, and it didn't break kindly yet again.
Redknapp. Gascoigne. Redknapp. International football makes no difference. Worth a try, he'll have it. Wasn't one of his more memorable ones, but even so, there's a good indication of his attitude. It would seem there are wholesale changes afoot. Messrs. Barnes, Sheringham and Lee. Well, presumably Alan Shearer is one who is coming off. Nobody else wants to. Gascoigne is the second. And the third is Jamie Redknapp, who can be very proud of himself on his debut.
Well, it's mainly just down to fitness, isn't it? And certainly, I think the three that went off have all contributed. Paul Gascoigne has shown that little bit of flair, done it in bursts, but those around him, Jamie Redknapp, been outstanding, I think, in spreading the play and switching it. Alan Shearer's worked hard, always shown up front and linked with Barnby. And so I think those that are sitting down have done a very good night's work. And it's, I'm sure, in the brief time left, those three that have come on realise they've got to try and get involved to try and make a little bit of an impression themselves, because the side that's come in this evening, I'm sure, have done a job for Terry Venables, and he won't forget.
Yes, there are a few onlookers too. Not given the opportunity that Teddy Sheringham and John Barnes and company have now. Ince and Ferdinand and Cole and Letizier. Didn't need to be hit as well as that.
Terry Venables throws his head back. He knows it was a good chance. Mr. Agita set it up, didn't he, by trying to chip the ball out of defence after a pass back, and I think Dennis Wise on his right foot should have got it on target.
Spria gave Lasso the chance at some cost of both players. Oh, yeah. What sort of challenge was that from Rincon? To Neville. Wise, plenty forward again. Barnes. And again Barnes. McManaman. 2 to him. Barnby. Lasso has made a quick recovery from the knock by Aspria. McManaman. Rob Lee looking for the shot.
Just made the opening. Just playing a little bit tight, perhaps to the width of the 18-yard box, but Robert Lee coming on, showing himself a lot of composure to set the shooting chance. Not wide enough away from our friend Agita, though.
Perez.
Well, it doesn't look as if we are going to get our goal, does it, Barry? But it's definitely a very entertaining, scoreless match. A lot of good positive things, particularly I thought Tony Adams did very well at the back as ever as a skipper, and very reliable, helped Steve Howe alongside. Seaman made some good saves when called upon. And then in midfield, Jamie Redknapp, Nick Barnby in particular, I thought threaded and kept possession exceptionally well.
Sheringham into Barnby. He just got underneath it. Just not to be. But there have been so many chances made.
Just his first touch for once let him down, didn't it? He just ran away from him. He stretched for the shot, leaning back, and it went over the crossbar. There he is now, looking up. Sheridan knocks it forward square. Look at the first touch, just stretching, off balance, and falling back. It goes over the crossbar. But he's had a good night, Nick Barnby.
Well, they've enjoyed the night, those supporting Colombia. clears. A little bit of extravagance. Would it prove costly? Farnby. Lasso. Still full of vigour. That could be useful. Good climb. Excellent header by Mendoza. Rincon. Espria. Rincon again. The French referee has a look at his montre.
England got a strange experience, of course, next month. They've got an away fixture, haven't they, in Norway, but certainly something to build on this evening.
Yes, they'll go to Norway in good heart, and with one or two new faces having really made their presence felt here for Terry Venables. He'll be disappointed it was 0-0, but he won't be disappointed in the performance. Start of a long journey. But the Colombians certainly played their part. They came to enjoy themselves, and Valderrama going off with Paul Gascoigne to check the mirror, presumably. But both had good moments, as did the England captain. A confidence booster, bit of effervescence on a wet night at Wembley, and hugely enjoyed by the small crowd, and I hope those who have watched on television. Final score, 0-0.
Terry, your assessment of an England performance tonight?
Very good. Obviously, the only thing we were short of was goals, but we had the opportunities to score, not fair opportunities. We had very, very good possibilities, and I think on a fair night with a bit of luck and the wind blowing in the right direction, we would have scored perhaps 3 or 4. I was very pleased with the team all round. We did a few different things at the back four. We tried to get Howie to come and support the midfield, because these are as good as anyone in the world at making you run and pulling you around, and you end up no energy left. But I thought we dealt with them quite well, and we hit them and made a lot of chances.
Paul, you waited a long time and now you're back in the England fold. You must have enjoyed that.
I did enjoy it. As a personal point of view, I've been out a while. Like I said, I've played a few 90-minute games. I know I could last 90 minutes, but to play for England again and back in the stadium, I think it took its toll a little bit on us. But I felt strong, and I like to say I'm pleased a little bit with my performance.
Jamie Redknapp, congratulations. Were you nervous before your debut?
A little bit. Obviously a little bit of butterflies, but more I just wanted to get the game on, really, and once it started I really enjoyed it.
It was a positive England performance. What was so good about it from your point of view?
Personally, I enjoyed it. I try to just get myself involved as much as I can. But no, I thought we'd done quite well. It's always difficult. They play very slow, but they're hard to get the ball off. But I thought at times we hit the post and the crossbar 3 times. You can't have worse luck than that, really.
We're on target for where we are, I think. I think it was a very good performance. 2 good teams played a good football match. If we'd have got the couple of goals, I think everybody would have said it was an absolutely outstanding game. But we don't want to get carried away. It's early days, but there's certainly plenty to work on, and I think it's been a good week and a good game tonight.
Ray Stubbs putting the questions there. As you see, Alan and Jimmy were enjoying that game with us, and I think enjoy is the right word, despite the lack of goals, Jim.
The first half was spectacular, wasn't it? Really, real pleasure to watch. Well, both teams. We expect perhaps Colombia to be stylish and do all those things, but we've got unused to England looking as talented as they looked. They looked as if they knew how to play the game, were confident, able to pass to each other, never under pressure. Totally different from what we've come to expect, but I think somewhere along the line of what Terry Venables is trying to produce. Whether he can produce it from players who play like they did in the Charity Shield, which is a different kind of game from that, even in a charity final, as it were, I don't know. But it looked beautiful tonight and was enjoyable.
The point is, in the European Championship, though, they won't have a team allow them to play in quite that way, Alan, will they?
No, Colombia played very, very open. I think the most important thing tonight was that he's played this system with a 1 man up front maybe 10 times. And it really, for me, hasn't worked because there's been no support from the middle of the park where it's got to come from. Tonight, there was tremendous support. You had Barmby, you had McManaman, you had Redknapp, players who have got talent and ability, but who are able to get up there and support and get back for 90 minutes, and that was most important.
And Gascoigne, Jimmy, had a super return to the England team.
Fantastic. He does inspire other players. Not only does he turn it on himself, Alan's talking about players getting through from the middle of the park. This occasion, you can see the packed middle of the park, nice, confident passing, but in the end, the man himself picks hold of it, gets the final ball, sees Shearer, never mind about getting up and joining him, how about putting him through? And that very nearly was the goal that would have set Wembley alight. Took it well, but it just wouldn't drop in the goal. But his creativity was sort of shining throughout. He really, he doesn't worry. Players are there, why don't I go by him? Make something happen. We've been missing that in the England team when he hasn't been there, and there isn't another player that is English that can do that kind of thing. He was part of the best move of the game. This was a lovely passing move, which again nearly resulted in a goal. First time balls about the place. Plenty of good touches as a cross comes here in the end. Shearer, you'll see in a minute, nods it back first time. How about that for a shot? And there's his left foot. My God, he was annoyed that he didn't score from that one because it would have ended a splendid move. And this, the cheekiest move of the game, which again is the sort of confidence. Look at these little touches that come up in a moment here. Just a flick of the ball. What about that? Little tiny dribble, then flick it up in the air. There's only half an inch to squeeze it through, but we might make it. Yeah, that takes confidence, and it's the sort of confidence that's been missing from the England team.
Happy with his new hair colour?
Well, I mean, I hope he'll forgive me if I say I prefer it this way, but anyway, I'm nothing against blondes generally, but that particular one, yes.
Now, Barmby stood out for you, Alan, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Barmby's a terrific player. He really is. He's strong. He's got lots of talent. He's got quick feet. He's got a great engine. He gets up and down. But his great attribute for me is he gets space in tight areas. He's got wonderful ability just to find a bit of space. This is the first half as a throw-in. Great awareness to find Shearer on the left-hand side, and he's always on the edge of the box if it comes back off the keeper. Again, a little bit of space in a forward position. Nice through ball. The defender does well to come across and avert the danger. Here we have him circled. He's the furthest man forward this time. Gascoigne into McManaman's feet, and what a great run this is. In behind the defender, and I thought he was a little bit unlucky. He tries to dink it over the keeper. Wise comes in, and it comes off the bar. But this is 5 minutes from the end of the game, and he's still running. He picks this up. It's not the best cross in the world, and Wise comes in and should really hit the target, but he keeps going. The boy keeps going and going. I mean, Brian Robson, what a signing that is. The boy really has got a wonderful future. And if I was Terry Venables, I'd keep playing him.
Much was made of no acknowledged ball winner in the middle of the England midfield. What did you feel about that?
Well, Terry Venables made the point that if you keep the ball, you don't need anyone really to win it. I think that, as I said before, Colombia played very, very open. You've got Redknapp in there that can put his foot in. Gascoigne can get his foot in at times. I think the important thing is to keep a hold of the ball, and tonight England had the players to do that. Now, when they come to the European Championships in June, the teams won't play the same way as Colombia play. It'll be totally different. You might need somebody in there that can get their foot in a bit better.
On that point about the ball winner, the young players hustled and bustled and ran for him tonight. It looked like a team. So you don't have to have a brutal player to get the ball back.
Okay, point made. Yeah. Now, all goalkeepers are crazy, but here's the number one.
Yes, Mr.
He's the man.
Football is supposed to be about entertainment, I think, and have you ever seen a back heel like that? I haven't.
I think just to be able to do it is a miracle.
Yeah, he makes Grobbelaar look like a boar, doesn't he? It's incredible.
Yeah.
And the point here was that the flag went up for an offside, didn't it? We didn't spot that originally when it happened. We thought he was absolutely sure of himself anyway. But to make that decision in an instant, to do that, even with the flag going up, was quite phenomenal. But he's been crazy for a long time.
You could try that a million times and not work.
Yeah. They say all goalkeepers are crazy, Des, but
no,
that
class
wins.
by himself.
Thank
you. Thank you for the moment. Well, now to the European Championship qualifiers, and first it's Scotland at home to Finland. A win for the Scots would make their place in the finals virtually certain. Our commentator at Hampden Park is Clive Tilsley.
They just couldn't contemplate the European finals taking place in England without them, and now Scotland are on the verge of qualifying. Victory tonight won't quite be enough, but with San Marino to come to Hampden in November, they'd be almost there. Ali McCoist, whose instant goal from the substitutes bench settled the game with Greece here 3 weeks ago, is on the bench again. Manager Craig Brown has used 13 different strike partnerships in the 8 qualifiers so far. Tonight it's Scott Booth of Aberdeen and Chelsea's John Spencer who are paired up front. While Scotland were beating Greece, Finland were losing 6-0 at home to Russia. Their star turn, Jari Litmanen, a European Cup winner with Ajax, missed that defeat. He's back tonight. Defender Eric Holmgren arrived in Glasgow late last night because he had to take a college exam yesterday. Half the Finnish team are still part-timers. Tonight's officials are all from the Ukraine. Vasily Melnichuk is the man in charge. They did try to arrange a private screening of the Mel Gibson film Braveheart in the Scottish camp yesterday. Nothing like the thought of coming up against the English to stir Scottish passions. And again, it's been heart and spirit that's been at the core of this team's bid to be in England next year. They'll be at Hadrian's Wall looking over if they win tonight. Tommy Boyd playing as one of the 3 central defenders in Craig Brown's lineup. Colin Calderwood and Colin Hendry here, the other 2. Rain started falling about half an hour before kick-off, but the new Hampden Park is looking very lush. Gary McAllister winning the free kick. Free kick from Collins, header from Hendry, chance for Spencer. Well, the only one is Chelsea placed back a week ago, John Spencer, after starting the Premiership season on the substitutes bench. Most of his Scottish experience has been as a substitute, but he's got his chance tonight. Alan McCoy's being held in reserve again by Craig Brown. McLaren bursting forward. It was expected that McLaren would be detailed to mark Jari Litmanen, but he is playing so deep. McLaren hasn't had to worry too much about the Ajax players yet. This is McKimmie winning a corner kick off Niemanen. Getting forward now from the back, Calderwood and Hendry. Colin short for Spencer. There's Booth! What a start for Scotland! A goal inside 10 minutes from Scott Booth of Aberdeen. They're on the way. Well, Booth was injured last November in the act of scoring a precious goal for Scotland against Russia. He became something of the forgotten forward of the Scottish scene. But as he rose there, the defender going up with him may even have got the final contact. Certainly Booth's been in the goals in the early part of the season with Aberdeen. And he just got the glancing touch in front of Riesenen. John Spencer's won the ball back for Scotland. Cut down by the sweeper Canavan. And now he is shown a yellow card. It's McAllister. Not sure how soon the goalkeeper Laukkanen saw that. McKimmie. McAllister going on the outside. Deflected behind by Niemanen for the corner. Flick by Booth. A bit more than a flick, actually. He made good contact. Flew straight at Laukkanen, but Scott Booth has done really well in the air for Scotland tonight. He's done really well on the ground, too. He scored in his last 3 matches at Hampden Park now for his country. That's a nice record to have. Half-time. Certainly Scotland's half. They didn't really build on the advantage that Booth gave them after 10 minutes. But Finland offered very little threat. And this goal, beautifully taken by the Aberdeen forward, where the goalkeeper hopelessly committed, is what separates the two sides at the break. Scotland have won their last 3 internationals. It's over 10 years since Scottish side won 4 in a row. Back in the mid-80s when Dalglish and Strachan and Souness and Nicholas were in the team. And the goalkeeper was a young chap called Jim Leighton. Well, the man in possession now has had precious little to do in tonight's encounter. Booth and Spencer did link up in the latter stages of the home match with Russia earlier in the campaign, but their understanding tonight suggests a longer association. They're similar types, quick thinking, bit of mischief in their play, plenty of mischief and menace for Finland, particularly in the earlier stages. Here's Järvinen though, away by Boyd. Muru, Lindberg, Litmanen, and still the shot was sliced wide of its target, but it's the first time that there was a chink of light for Jari Litmanen. It's greeted by a big roar of encouragement from the Scottish fans who are looking for their team to lift the tempo to that of the start of the first half. Straight to Collins. His clubmate McKinley. Oh, it's hit the post off the defender. Caliber, the sweeper, within an inch or two of scoring an own goal. A rueful smile. It's a really good cross from McKinley. Defender's worst nightmare, facing his own goal. Ball coming in at speed. Booth back to McAllister, didn't get hold of it. There aren't too many players in Britain that you'd rather have volleyed chance full to than Gary McAllister. And yet again, Scott Booth had the stepladders out there. Rising well to set it up. Just a moment or so after Caliver, the sweeper, had very nearly doubled Scotland's money through his own misfortune. Collins. Boyd. Collins. Here's Tommy Boyd with a bit more space this time. Going for glory. Well, he's never scored for Scotland, Tommy Boyd. But this rather flat second half performance, in need of a lift, in need of somebody to take responsibility. And Boyd was prepared to do that. Rissanen, Järvinen, Muru. Järvinen going on, Boyd in pursuit. Squeeze back the cross. Might come for Muru. Maybe for Grenlund. Maybe for Litmanen. Oh, he tried to lift it over Leighton. And the goalkeeper was big enough. It was a pretty ambitious effort by Litmanen. Mark of a very talented young player, but whether it was really necessary or not, I don't know. It was a good shooting opportunity. Collins is back there. Play very stretched now. There's an offside flag here against Spencer. Holmgren. Left by Hjelm for Litmanen. Here's Hjelm! Well, they're creating chances now, the visitors. Ari Hjelm, their captain, working a snappy 1-2 with Jari Litmanen. And Scotland were undone there for a second. Leighton grateful to see it fly wide. Lindbergh, Littman.